everyone. So today I rented a driver with a scooter to take me around to some of the more popular temples and just some of the cool beaches in Kuta. I'm a little nervous about driving on the back of a scooter with the traffic here, but I think it's the best way to get around because they can go through those small streets. So I had a pretty decent, healthy breakfast here at the hotel, and now I'm just getting ready to go. Oh my gosh, it's already shaping up to be a very hot day, so I'm hoping I can survive. Stop is Tanah Lot, which is probably the second most famous temple on this island, and we came early so there's not as many people, although people are starting to come. And this temple behind me is not Tanah Lot, but it's near Tanah Lot, and it's really beautiful itself, so I'm really excited to see what the main temple looks like. So my driver, Lang Dong, said that it's a lot prettier at high tide because this area where you can walk on is all covered in water. It's actually pretty cool to me that we can come at this hour and walk across and get even closer to the temple. And I heard that foreigners aren't allowed to go up into the temple, but I decided to try and ask anyways, but no, they wouldn't let me in. But still being able to get this close and see it is pretty neat. People keep stopping me to take pictures with them, and I don't know if it's a joke or what it is. Definitely some women were laughing when the first guy stopped me. He just went for it. He didn't really ask because I guess he didn't know how. I don't really mind it now that I know that that's what they're doing. At first I thought they wanted me to do something else, which is freaking me out, but picture is fine. So my driver recommended I come to this garden where they show you how civit coffee is made. Basically it's grown like regular coffee, on like berries on a vine, but then these animals, the luwaks, they eat it and they digest it, and then they process the coffee after the fact. And they grow a couple other things like cocoa beans and mangosteen. Apparently is really good for cancer. So now I'm going to taste some of the coffee that's not the civit coffee, the Bali coffee. The mangosteen, which is good for cancer, so I'm really curious about this one. So I wasn't planning on drinking all 12 of these samples, but I ended up drinking most of them because I got into a good conversation with the woman giving the tour. I feel like our lives are very similar. We really connected. She probably connects with everybody, but I felt very connected to her. I'm gonna try the civit coffee now. They call it the luwak coffee. It's about $5 for a cup, but go with the flow, you know? What's $5 in the grand scheme of things? So she brought out the luwak coffee, the civit coffee, and they have samples here of regular Bali coffee, which has a real strong earthy smell, and the luwak coffee, which has a much lighter, cleaner smell, probably because of the processing of the beans through the civit. I'm gonna have it first without sugar so I can taste it. Cheers. And again, it has a very light, clean smell. and has a strong earthy coffee flavor, but no strong aftertaste. So now I've added powdered creamer and sugar to the coffee, which I'm sure is considered sacrilege because you can't really taste the coffee, most people think, with cream and sugar, but that's how I take it. So the cream and sugar mellows it out a lot, and it gives it more of a taste that I'm used to. And it's very good. They've brewed it in a very rich way, the way I like it dark. It almost has a cream head on it from the brewing method. And it's very good, very light tasting, like I said before. It smells light and it tastes light. So if you don't like that strong flavor of coffee, Civit coffee might be for you, even though it's an expensive way to have an addiction to coffee. So I had my driver take me to Jimbalu Beach, which is supposed to have really great seafood, but everything's so expensive and there's no one here. I know people typically have dinner here, not lunch, and I wasn't feeling it. You know, I don't want to do anything that feels wrong because I have such a short time here. After feeling kind of down about the whole lunch situation, my driver took me to this other place that's a lot cheaper, and I just got fried chicken with noodles, which is pretty simple, but can't go wrong, and a coconut because I'm a little dehydrated. Fiasco and chilling out a little bit, we've come to this beach called Padang Padang Beach, which is really beautiful. It's about $1.50 to get in, and you go down a bunch of steps through rocks, and then you come here to this beautiful cliffside beach, and the water's warm, and it's cool because of the air coming off of the water. My driver told me that, you know, normally the high tide over here isn't so high, you can walk over and get a great picture, but now it's a little high, but that's okay. It's still pretty awesome. So riding on the back of the bike is as scary as I anticipated it would be, because when traffic is easy and there's no one around, it's really nice and breezy. But when there's a lot of cars and traffic, the driver will go around the side of the cars. And there was a moment where he went around the right side where oncoming traffic was, and then a big tourist bus was coming. I really thought that would be it. And he's like, it's okay, don't worry, but that was probably the scariest moment for me so far. I think it might be worth the fear because you really get to see the whole town in a way you wouldn't be able to. The last stop of the day is Uluwatu Temple, which is right on this cliffside overlooking the ocean, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And there's mountains in the background with yellow flowers and these really big statues. The view is probably better than the temple itself. There's a lot of little trails you can walk. There's one long one by the ocean on the cliff, and then there's these ones within the jungle area where you can spot monkeys. I heard they can steal your stuff, but as long as you keep moving, they're not going to steal something, only when you stop. I'm afraid they're going to steal my glasses. We saved the best for last with the Uluwatu Kecak fire dance. This traditional show is performed in front of the setting sun over the cliffside and tells a popular Bali Hindu story with elaborate costume dancers and a choir of 70 men. This choir is like no other. Its song is a percussive chant with its roots in a trance-inducing exorcism dance. There are many characters in this show, but probably the breakout star of the evening was a white monkey.